Hey darling, welcome to your reading. I hope that you're okay. Right, we've got you in. I printed your email off and I made some scribbles on the bottom. So what we're going to do, first of all, the best way to kind of start readings that me and my guides work with is we go into your energy first and then we make a direct link into Rico's energy. And what we're going to do is we're going to start by going into his thoughts and feelings about you, because that normally gives me and my guides a really good indicator where the energy's at, where the energy's heading, what's currently going on, and then we'll go through the rest of the questions. So I've added, does he want a relationship with you? Is there reconciliation and contact? Can you trust him? Has he realised the connection? Would he be scared to lose you if you walk away? And then we'll have a look at him and Courtney. Okay, so you have to hold on to your knickers because it could be quite a quick reading, fast paced. Okay, let's go. So can you get me into Armanda's? Armanda's. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Armanda's. Yeah, that's right. Armanda's energy. Can you get me into her energy, please? 2. It's alright, relax. Ooh, I can feel your tummy going in knots. Armanda's thoughts, feelings, energy, emotions and thought processes. I'm just going to give that back to you. Return to sender, return to sender, return to sender. In the nicest way possible. I could just feel the anxiety kind of building and bubbling in your tummy then. 2, 3, okay. My guys have just done a deck swap. So we're using this deck for Rico. Can you make a direct energy link from Armanda's to Rico's energy, please? Can you link Armanda's energy into Rico's energy? If I'm saying your name wrong, I do apologise. Because it works on energy, it's kind of irrelevant really, but I don't like to be rude and say people's names wrong, but I have cultural British naivety, so Armanda's. Okay, link that energy with Rico, and let's get into Rico's thoughts, feelings, energy, emotions and thought processes. 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so let's do his thoughts and feelings about you first of all. Can you tell me what Rico is thinking about Armanda? What does Rico think about her? It's a good start. What is Rico thinking about Armanda? 2. What is he thinking about her? Just one at a time, please. 3. He does love you. 4. What is he thinking about her? 5. And what is he feeling about her? 1, 2, 3, 4. What do you feel about her? 1 more. What does Rico feel about her? Okay. So he is currently viewing the situation with you as coming to a close, alright? The reason for that is because he can't give you what you want at this moment in time. Now that's not to say that he doesn't love you, he does. He has really, really strong heart-centered energy towards you. It has got a twin flame frequency, this has. Normally when I do readings, I can tap in. I work with frequencies. I'm all about frequencies because of my clairaudience. It's like radio dials, and this has got a twin flame frequency, a twin flame kind of dynamic frequency. So it's always going to be the more complicated kind of relationships on an earthly level. From a spiritual level, it's all about helping the world, but from an earthly level, they are really, really complicated. So he is kind of Rico's viewing the situation with you as coming to a close at the moment. Now that doesn't mean he doesn't love you, he's just thinking that it is for the best that this situation ends. And with what's happening with him and Courtney as well, with that relationship kind of going a little bit, I'm sorry, but going full steam ahead, he's thinking that it's kind of time to just draw the line with you. Now, it's not going to last. It's going to be temporary. You are going to be his crux, his kryptonite, Spirit is saying. So he will always kind of come back to you. He feels that you will still be there for him. He could go off and do whatever he wants, and he could still message you and you would still reply. He feels that from you. So he's not overly stressing about it. He's kind of thinking, well, we'll put it to a close at the moment. She'll always be in and out of my life, and we'll see what happens. We'll take our time of it and see what transgresses, I'm hearing. So in his thoughts towards you, you've got the Knight of Cups, which is him being completely and utterly head over heels in love with you. You've also got the Knight of Wands, for him not being able to offer you any kind of commitment. He would be happy for this relationship to go ahead if it was like a third party situation, which you don't really, it feels that you don't really want to get into that kind of energy. Obviously you've got to do what makes you happy, but the cards are suggesting that it's probably not the right idea for you. Spirit is suggesting it, sorry, not the cards. So there's been this kind of immediate movement which has left this heartache and this pain and this crying over spilt milk. So he is really upset about the situation. He knows that he loves you, but there is this overwhelming fear from him that you guys can't be together. Now, it's because of what people would think, I'm hearing. It's also about how people would react to the situation, and there's also some kind of stereotype I'm hearing as well with regard to you and him that needs to be broken. I'm not quite sure what Spirit mean by that, but I'm just going to throw it at you because that's what they're saying. So he knows that he does love you. He feels that you and him can be quite temperamental, but that is the passion between the two of you. You push each other's buttons. It doesn't matter that you've got a temper, because that is who you are, okay? And he won't be able to change that, and you shouldn't have to change who you are anyway. You shouldn't have to do that. So he's feeling really, really sad about the situation as well, but feeling at this moment in time that he's feeling sad about the situation, but he's thinking at this moment in time that the situation coming to a close is for the best, which is why you've got the Death card over here. High Priestess and King of Pentacles. He's been kind of having his cake and eating it for quite some time. And now he's focusing on the stability and security that he is got around him with this relationship with Courtney. He's, what was that? That went in, that was so quick, I lost it. Because of the children, because of the child that's involved in the situation as well, because he's kind of accepted this child, he's not only seeing it as just about him and her anymore, he's seeing it as a kind of family unit. And through that family unit, that means that he doesn't want to, again, upset anyone or worry about what people are going to think. So he's got all of this kind of swimming around his head. So at the moment he thinks, right, I'm just going to cut it off. Cut off the connection, cut off what's happening. If she messages me, I'll reply when I feel like it. But he wants you, he feels at this moment in time that the relationship with you has come to a close. But he also feels that, again, that it will reoccur when the time is right. If it happens, it happens. It's kind of got into that energy. So he's gone away for the moment being. If you know, have you guys not in contact? I'm hearing that if with you being not in contact or little contact, he's trying to just put this to the back of his mind. He's trying not to think about it. He knows that if he gets back in contact with you, he's going to be tempted for things to happen with you and him again, and messages to be sent. And he doesn't really want to do that again, because there's not just him involved in the situation anymore. There's other people involved in it. So that is what is currently going on in his head. So does he want a relationship with you? Not at this moment in time, but he does still love you. Does Rico want a relationship with Armanda? Again, he just feels like if he puts it to the back of his mind and he puts it on the sideline, it would be okay. The only way that he would offer you a relationship at this moment in time is if it was a kind of third party deceptive situation. So if you do decide to do that, obviously you've got your own free will. Just choose what makes you happy. That's what I always say. But if you do decide that you want to partake in that, just go in with your eyes fully open, okay? What would be happening, and this is why Spirit would advise against it. I don't normally advise people against it because obviously it's your free will, but Spirit is saying what would happen is that it would kind of be a rod for your own back, they're saying, because he, at the moment, you've kind of got more control of the situation. Now, if you gave him everything he wanted and said to him, right, you know, I'll see you on the sideline, and you can stay where you are, which is what he would like in an ideal world, you're going to be giving away your power. Even if you said to him, until you commit to me, I'm not going to commit to you, you're still giving away that power, because at this moment in time, he's not going to do anything about the situation. So you just need to bear that in mind. So he would see that you and him having a relationship, not just the two of you. So he would have a relationship with you with the three of you involved at this moment. That's not to say later down the line that it will come back round, but he's done a typical escape artist, and he's gone from one situation with you into the situation with Courtney. He's jumped from the frying pan into the fire, and this relationship that he's entered with her is not going to fulfill his needs. It's going to be, give it the right amount of time, he's going to be bored, he's going to be fed up, he's going to be feeling like he's in it for the kids and the relationship, or the child, the kid, sorry. He's going to feel like he's in the relationship for that and nothing more, really. He's gone from a beautiful sparkly stiletto slipper, a beautiful sparkly pink stiletto with nice studs on it, being you, into a comfy slipper. And he's got to try and, you know, he's thinking, oh, I'll be comfortable in the slipper. It's safe, it's warm, and Courtney's the slipper. So he's thinking, oh, you know, I've got a comfort blanket. I'm secure. There's stability. There's family. There's security. But then he'll still be tempted to go to you, the beautiful pink stiletto, because you're adventurous, you're exciting, you don't fit into the mould of what a normal relationship is. There's intense passion, there's intense chemistry, and he really wants you. You know, when you see a pair of shoes that you really, really want? That will be you, and she will be a comfy slipper. So that's where the energy is kind of currently going, where it's heading at this moment in time. So he's going to stick in this comfy slipper relationship, and he'll try to see if you can get a third party relationship going with him at the moment. So just be aware of that. Obviously it's completely down to you what you choose, and we'll support you, but you need to be aware that it could make the situation worse, you know. Just keep your wits about you. There is reconciliation and there is contact, but again, until he leaves this relationship with Courtney, you're a bit scuppered. Is there reconciliation with Armanda and Rico? Is there going to be reconciliation? See, again, at this moment in time, he's feeling like the situation is come to a close. I just heard 2 months really clearly. Remember, with timings, time is fluid, so it can change, because he's got free will, obviously. But 2 months of him and Courtney trying to give it a go. If you step out of contact, that's when your contact's going to come roughly back in, and the chance for a real reconciliation will happen then. But he will still be with her. So he'll make some kind of offering to you, tell you how much he misses you, tell you what he feels about you to a degree. Pay attention to his actions, not his words. He'll make some kind of offering, and that'll be roughly in about a 2 month time. But he will still be with this Courtney, so you need to be aware of that. Okay. Reconciliation, it will happen if you want it to. It's going to be down to you, really, because he'll come back and he'll give you this kind of offering, but you've got to decide whether that is what you want, you know. Even if you say no, you and him it's not going to end, but it does feel like him and Courtney is going to be prolonged for quite a while. I'll do their cards in a minute. It's going to be prolonged, their relationship. They're going to try and make it work. Okay. What's gonna is Rico gonna get in contact with Armanda? There's too many. Is Rico gonna try and get in contact with Armanda? He doesn't really know what he could say to you at this moment in time, you know. He would like to talk to you because he does love you, but he just doesn't know what to say about anything at this moment, so he's not going to do anything for now. Does feel, has he unblocked you already? He will unblock you. The reason why he's got you still blocked on Messenger is because he can watch you on Facebook and see what you're up to, but then on Messenger he hasn't got the risk of you messaging him when he's with Courtney, but it will come through. Make sure you watch your message requests. Again, I just saw 2 months really clearly again. So it looks like the contact is going to come in roughly about 2 months' time. So keep moving forward with your life. I know it sucks. I know it's hard. Contact will come forward when he feels the time is right. You are very, very strong characters. You know, you're the Queen of Swords, he's the Emperor, and in between the two of you, you've got this Page of Cups. And this is saying that he's, with regard to romance, he can act quite immature with love, because the chemistry between the two of you is really strong. The emotions between the two of you is really strong. And he feels that if he puts the emotions to the back of his mind, then he doesn't have to... I just saw a flash over the screen then. Welcome to spirit energy. He feels that if he puts it to the back of his mind, then he hasn't got to concentrate on it, and he hasn't got to do anything about it. He also feels that he's made you fully aware of the situation, so he doesn't think that he's given you any kind of false hope as well. However, it doesn't have a bad feeling. It doesn't have a bad feeling. I know you'll be like, oh, Ali, this feels like it's really shit. This is like not what I was hoping for. But actually, it doesn't feel as bad as what you would think it would be. Has he realised the connection? No, not 100%. He's not tapped in, tuned in, turned on. He thinks psychic stuff it freaks him out a little bit, to be honest. But he knows there's more to this than meets the eye. He knows that there's, no matter how long you guys don't talk, there will always kind of be that connection between the two of you. And that's part of the reason why he thinks that he can always come back. You know, he thinks, well, if I give her the time, if I go and sort myself out, see what happens with Courtney, she'll still be there for me when I need her anyway. He can be quite selfish like that. Almost like a bit of a backup if it doesn't work out with her. It's really nasty. That's not, I know that's a horrible thing for me to say, but it's what I heard what I heard. Bit of a backup plan, really, because he thinks that you'll always be there to kind of mop up the pieces and help him move forward and things like that. Now, he isn't being completely honest with himself about his feelings for you either. So he does know that there is strong emotions there, but he's not going to tell you that again, which is why it's important to pay attention to his actions and not his words. You know, you say on here he doesn't open up to you. Well, he's not a very open person when it comes to feelings anyway, because he's been hurt in the past, and there seems to be some kind of abandonment or something issues when he was younger. So he's scared of that kind of abandonment happening again. So he's not very good at talking about emotional things. I hope you know about that. If you don't, you do now. He's not very good about opening up, so he's never really going to change how he is with you. Again, that's why you need to pay attention to his actions and not his words. He can see you together, but it's just not yet. He tells me different things, like when we aren't together, he will go on my page. Yeah, because he'll go on your page and watch you and dream about you and fantasize about you, because firstly you're a pink stiletto slipper, and you're a pink stiletto boot, and you're sparkling and you're amazing, you're exciting, you're fancy, you're perfect, you're everything that he wants. But then the reality of it is it scares the crap out of him. So he's kind of, I hate the dynamics of this runner chaser, because I always think that the chaser, often once you've given up chasing, you become a standstiller, and we don't want that, because if you sit there and you stand still and wait for this situation to happen, then you're putting your own life on hold. So keep your options open as well. You can bring another soulmate into your, you can bring a better person into your life that would be suited more to you if that's what you want, and it's irrelevant because he will still come back. So you can choose whatever outcome and whatever destiny you want, whatever pathway you want to take it, because he will still come back to you regardless of what happens. So don't put your life on hold for it. Keep your options fully open. So that's kind of what's happening. So he won't express to you what's happening in his heart, but he does definitely watch you pretty much every day. He has got this strong feelings for you, and if he sees you starting to move forward with your life regardless of him, actually that will make him kind of go into a bit of a hunter mode to become a bit of a chaser for you, because he'll want to know what you're up to, who you're seeing, things like that. So you could put a couple of posts up on Facebook just to kind of trigger that energy within him. So I don't know, walked through the supermarket yesterday and someone called me beautiful, made my day, or put a little dress on, or a dress, and say, can't wait to wear this out for dinner tonight, and don't say who you're with. Had an amazing day out in the sunshine, couldn't have asked for a better time. Little things like that. Not saying who you're with, what you're up to, things like that. And that will trigger that little bit of jealousy within him, which could make him come back quicker towards you. Okay, so you kind of got to play the game. It still feels to be roughly 2 months, but it will be worth doing that, because then he knows that you're not putting your life on hold for him. Don't overdo it. Don't do it every single day. Probably like once every week, once every couple of weeks, you know, just throw a little bit out there. Take away, don't put any more statuses or things or songs up for him that trigger those kind of emotions and that, because he already knows how you feel. And if you do that, he's going to feel this immense pressure being put on him. Whereas if you look like you're moving on and having a great time, even if you're not, that jealousy within him will get triggered for him to come back towards you, for him to contact you, so you could get it quicker to your doorstep. So you finally told him everything on your mind and how much he hurt you, and he blocked you. Yeah, so he can't deal with the pressure of it. That's why he blocked you. Too intense. But he's unblocked you on Facebook so he can watch you, but he hasn't unblocked you on Messenger because he's not, firstly, he's not ready to hear from you. Secondly, he doesn't want messages to pop up whilst he's with Courtney. And I want to know if he will come back together. Is his love stronger for me than her? Okay, let's do their cards. Can you get me into Rico's energy, link that into Courtney's energy, and put Rico's energy in the cards with her? So we'll just do what's current energy between the two of them at the moment. Again, the love between the two of you, it's a different kind of love, Spirit is saying. So again, we're going back to I keep bringing up the stiletto and the slipper, but she's a comfortable, secure, plain Jane. I just saw Jane Eyre. That's an old British book. Kind of, she's a pretty mundane and boring girl, but there is that kind of nurturing, gentle ease that comes with that. Whereas you are exciting, fantasy, beautiful, passionate, everything that he wants, and that scares him. So there are two different types of love involved in this situation. One is that kind of, I love her, but I don't know if it's ever going to work, which makes someone love you kind of more, if that makes sense. You always want what you can't have. So he's kind of got that love for you. That's how he's feeling at the moment. He wants you, but he can't have you. And with her, it's that just comforting, kind of nurturing love. So it's a different kind of love. So it's hard to say who we would love more, if that makes sense. Let's have a look. Can you tell me what's currently happening with Courtney and Armanda? Courtney and Armanda. Courtney and Rico. Put that one back in. Courtney and Rico. Ali. Courtney and Rico. What's the current energy? Yeah, you see, it's kind of got to this mundane, boring, I'm stuck in a cycle already. They're happy, they are happy, and they're giving it I'm sorry to tell you that, but they are happy and they're giving it a good go. And that's another reason why he won't be getting in touch with you, because he's trying to clear up the past and give it a really good shot with her. But it won't work. There's insecurity and jealousy already involved in the situation. More so from his point of view, because he's already got feelings for you. You know, when they say that someone, if you get, you know, like, what's the best way to explain this to you? You know, if someone cheats, for example, and they would say the cheater accuses the other person of cheating, it's not that energy, but it's that kind of energy. Because he's got feelings for you, he feels insecure with her, because he's thinking, well, what is she up to, what's going on, blah 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 blah. And even though she's a security blanket, this comfort, these insecurity issues are kind of going to grow a little bit because of how he feels for you, if that makes sense. I know it's a bit hard for me to kind of explain to you. Their relationship, they're getting on okay, they're trying to make it work. The child is a massive impact on this relationship, because he does want this kind of family support. He wants his family unit. It is just very mundane and very boring. I don't know what other words to kind of explain. Feeling a little bit stuck, but they're dedicated towards one another. He's had to release the situation with you for this to move forward. Feeling a little bit stuck, already, and this is really early into the relationship, he's already feeling a bit stuck by it. And this insecurity is going to keep rising within him. You know, this insecurity between the two of them will keep getting worse. But it's more his insecurity than hers, which is fascinating. It doesn't really happen. It's normally the other way around. But that's what Spirit are saying. He will get bored and he will get lonely. And that is when the outreach will come towards you. So this is why jealousy will be a good leverage for you, because he does still love you. Does he love? He's not in love with. He's in love with you. He's not in love with Courtney, if that makes sense. But he cares a lot about her. So where are we now? Right, you don't ever have to change who you are, because you're not a crazy person. There's always actions and reactions. Remember that. His actions will have made you react. Will know, reach out to me soon. Roughly about 2 months. If he comes back, can I trust him? He will still be with her when he gets back in touch with you. So you always I always say, when it comes to trust, it's a hard one to explain, but you should really trust that they were the person that you were. They were when you met them, rather than trusting in you and them. Because you've got to trust that people will not change, and he will be this person and he will not change. So you need to be aware of that. So whether you trust the person that he was or is, that's kind of going to be down to you. It's a bit too far down the line to see, because you and him at the moment, likelihood of you coming back together in a relationship is a bit too far down the line to see at the moment. So from that, the trust will kind of come up like that. So you'd have to build that level of trust, and he will keep pushing your buttons. And this little backwards forwardsy, we're going round in circles relationship is going to kind of carry on. Let me try and see what else we've got. Is she just here for the time? She is here for the time being, but the time being is like it's gonna last a little while. You and him are on the outs, but you'll be back on the ins. We would suggest you give him a bit of space for now, and then in a couple of weeks start putting those little Facebook statuses up, push his buttons a little bit, get him back towards you. Has he realised there's a connection? He knows there's something there, but he hasn't quite worked it out. Is he scared to lose you if you completely walk away? He doesn't feel that he will lose you. So he's not scared of it, because he doesn't think it's going to happen. He thinks that you'll always kind of be there. But if you show him otherwise, and if you put those little bits and pieces on, that will be a good idea for you. Let me just see if Amanda puts these Facebook posts on about what she's up to, will it make Rika come back to her quicker? 10 of Cups, that's a good start. Will it make her come back, to make him come back? Page of Swords, so he's definitely watching you. There'll be a little bit of, still a bit of a break, and then he'll come towards you with love. So yeah, a few little statuses here and there. Take your energy off him. He already knows how you feel. No amount of repeating it or pressurizing it is going to make that change. So with regard to let me just make sure I've answered all these. I completely walk away. Would it somehow help him realise who I am, who he wants? Yeah. Keep the door open though. You know, just keep him on the sideline and move forward. Yeah, and the baby, it's definitely her child, not his. So what else were we going to say? The only other thing that I need to talk to you about on here is about cutting cords. Right, there is a meditation you can do if you go onto YouTube. I think it's a guy called Johnny Booth. He does a cord cutting meditation, and it's only 20 minutes long. So if you type on YouTube Johnny Booth cord cutting, and see if you can find that. That's quite a good one. I found that to be the best one, because it doesn't just cut the cords with a person, it cuts the cords with situations, with places, etc, etc. However, with a twin flame, you can't really cut the cords. So the best thing you can do, I would do that meditation, because it's not just to do with the person. The other thing you can do is So we've got 7 main chakra points. I don't want to teach you to suck eggs, I don't know how much you know, but we've got our root, root, which is like the back of our spine, bottom of our spine, sorry. You've got your sacral, which is 2 inches below your belly button, solar plexus 2 inches above, heart, throat, crown, no, third eye and crown, those 7 main chakra points. And you and your twin will have those 7 main chakra points, both of you. And what happens is sometimes with twin flame relationships, instead of cutting the cords between the two of us, we can get our cords a little bit mixed up. So whereas I would be feeling like heart-centered energy and emotional and in love, my heart center could be connected to my twin sacral center, so he would be feeling horny, and you've got this kind of mixed match of energy. That's just an example. You know, you could be feeling really, really spiritual and feeling that this is going to move forward, and he could be feeling really emotional, or he could be feeling really frightened. So what you can do is just shut your eyes, visualize these 7 points. There's different colors associated with each one. Have a Google, because I haven't got time to explain it, and just visualize them between you and him, just realigning. So your heart to heart, third eye, crown, crown, etc, etc, for the whole 7 points. And that should help shift the energy. Make sure you're returning to sender as well, so you pick up on his energy, so send that back really quickly. Go return to sender 3 times. That's when you suddenly hit with these wave of emotions. Also, spirit is saying manifest the outcome that you want. Have a look at Agnes. I don't know if you're on my YouTube channel, well, you are on the channel. Don't know if you watched the video where I talk about Agnes. Type in on YouTube Agnes manifest text message, Agnes manifest contact. It's really, really good. The other thing spirit are saying is, when we're saying keep your options open, and you know, leave the situation on the sideline and move forward with your own life, wait for it to come, it will come back, but don't put your life on hold. Reason for that as well is because there's a universal law of space, and once space is created, it has to be matched with something equal to or more than. Whereas if you're holding on to the situation really, really tightly, saying text me, call me, this situation can't change, it's got to be this, it's got to be that, if you're not giving it that allowance, the universe can't maneuver around you. So it's really important to release the situation as well. So have a go at letting go meditations, clearing space meditations, anything along those lines. That'll help as well. He will come back to you. It's a difficult one, but you know, just keep choosing what makes you happy. If you wanted to give it a go in this third-party relationship later down the line, deal with it when it comes to it. I wouldn't even think about it now. But just focus on what you want and what will make you happy, and things will naturally fall into place. Alright, sweetheart, sending you loads of love, loads of strength and loads of healing. Okay, darling, take care. Bye.